Yeah. Awesome, baby. Luyan. Mambo Kings.
What's good? This your boy Tico Trent, and I'm going to talk about why I don't have empathy for women, especially when they get themselves into stupid stuff. Here's why. Along the lines of not having empathy for women, women tend to get themselves into stupid stuff on a regular basis, if you know what I mean. On top of that, their ability to not take responsibility for their actions gives me the ability to not have sympathy for the mistakes that they make, if you know what I mean. Because I've never once heard a woman say, I messed up and I was part to blame for the relationship being messed up. Okay, cool. Usually they just blame the guy and we just move right on. That is the problem that I have. Look, women always do stuff and then they don't take responsibility for their actions that they participated in while in that incidents, on all those incidents for the most part. A good example of that is an abusive relationship. You knew the guy was abusive when you got into the relationship with them. However, in your mind, you thought you could change the person. Even though you knew it was wrong, even though you knew you could probably die or get brutally injured, stuff along the lines of that, you chose to make the decision that you chose. You had many times to get out, you had many red flags thrown at you, but you chose to continue on with the relationship that you're in. I cannot have sympathy for you then. It sucks that you got abused and beat up and and all the above, but at the same time, you chose to do what you did that landed you in a situation that you're in. A good example of that is another good example of that of choosing a certain decision that landed you into the incident that you're in would be dressing a certain way. I have no problem with it because I'm a normal guy. I really don't pay attention too much anyway, especially if you're not intelligent or if you really don't have any substance. I really don't pay attention, especially if I know your body parts are fake. I'm especially not paying you no attention. However, women always want to do stuff and participate in stuff and then wonder why shit actually happens, or well, I don't understand why he did this. Well, I don't understand why you're dressed like that, and that's probably why he did this. Well, you're just victim shaming. No, I'm just trying to give you common sense on how the world actually is versus on how you're trying to play it out in your damn head. That's what I have a problem with when it comes to women. How the world actually is and how they perceive the world is two totally different fucking things. Like a good example of that, all men are dogs or all men are bad. But they should be able to wear whatever they want, which is an oxymoron. If all men are bad and all men are this and all men are rapists, then why the hell do you want to wear something that is going to get you in a situation that you claim all men are? So if you want to dress provocatively or dress slutty, why would you want to dress slutty if you're going to say or contend that all men are rapists? How does that even make fucking sense? But that's just women logic for you. Again, but dressing provocatively, most men would just look and just keep it moving, basically. There's a small percentage of men, a very, very small percentage of men who fall into the category of actual creepiness and rapists and stuff like that. But the irony to it is, those guys tend to be the more charismatic ones. Those guys tend to be the more, they tend to always get your attention and shit like that. So when shit happens, it just happens, basically. Because you put yourself, a lot of times women put themselves in their vicinity for shit to actually happen. I'm not victim shaming, I'm just calling it like it is. Women need to have more wherewithal are more situational awareness in their environment, if you know what I mean. They have situational awareness when they want to figure out who got the most money, who drives what car, how much money somebody makes, and how good somebody does walked in a room. But they have zero situational awareness when it comes to actual danger. And a lot of women say, well, I didn't date that guy because he was dangerous. Okay, but you ended up with this guy and he beat your ass and he beat you to an inch of a lice and now you're in traction. But you were avoiding that guy because he's dangerous. Right. Yeah. Which I've always found kind of funny. Then on top of that, you have women who just make stupid decisions on a regular basis. A good example of that is pregnancies. If you knew the guy wasn't going to stick around, what made you think having a baby was going to make the guy actually stick around? Let that shit swirl around in your head. Let that shit sink in. Because this is the stuff that women, this is the mental gymnastic that women go through just so they can make shit seem logical or seem like it could be right in their head. It's the convoluted thought process that women have. Like, well, I had a baby, so he'll love me. Well, he didn't love you before, and 9 times out of 10, he's not going to love you then. Because at the end of the day, just as much as the person you lay down with is just as much your fault. Believe it or not. Because at the end of the day, you slept with the idiot, you let the idiot sleep with you, and you let the idiot come in you. Whatever happened to condoms. But yeah, at the same time, you can't absolve all guilt and blame and pass it on to the man if you participated in the act. Like you always say, it's funny how women always say it takes two to tango. But it doesn't take two to tango when you end up as a single mother, or it doesn't take two to tango when the circumstances don't quite fit your narrative, or if you come up short in the circumstances, it doesn't take two to tango. It's just his fault, basically. That's the problem that I have with women, because nobody ever really pays attention. None of the women really ever pay attention to what they're getting themselves into, and they don't think long term. They think instant gratification. And this is how they end up all the messes that they're in today. It's just that simple. At the end of the day, women are the gatekeepers of sex. So if a man is having sex, it's because a woman let him have sex. It's not because the man did everything right. It's basically because a woman literally let him have sex with her. That is that. That is how simple that shit is. If a woman was to say no, there wouldn't be no sex had. Therefore, women are the gatekeepers of sex. It's that simple.